Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. I was like, should I do an upload? Should I do a live stream? And, I was like, I want to do a live stream. These are fun. And it's great. If you can't sleep at night, I will put you to sleep. My live streams are a cure for insomnia. To my super chat, thank you so much. I know that there are other things to spend money on, but if you want to support my voice, I'm greatly appreciative. Joe Biden is the worst imaginable challenger to Trump right now, Ryan Cooper. Now, this person does not like President Trump. Imagine if you like Trump, how enjoyable it is to speak about this. By the way, I don't have a Twitter account. I do not have a Facebook account, but one of the this is really interesting. One of the officials at the Biden campaign, this was a while back, found it bizarre that I was published in the Daily Caller. This was in 2017. I didn't realize this, so I assumed that people in those campaigns perhaps read my writing. I assumed that was the case, but it's kind of interesting to to see people working for these campaigns reading my writing. Anyway, to the Biden campaign, God bless you. You know that Hillary Clinton's going to be nominee. We all know this, and this is what we all want. Nobody wants Hillary Clinton to be nominee more than me, because the only person I love more than Hillary Clinton in politics is President Trump. I'm voting for President Trump. I want to reverse failed foreign policy. I think President Trump is a great president, going after corrupt intelligence officials, bringing home Americans. We had a stellar economy prior to all of this. So God bless you. What can I say? What can I say other than thanks for reading my writing? Or I don't know. But anyway, it's just kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting because I was published 100 times in The Hill, The Huffington Post, and Salon, and every one of the articles I wrote that went viral, every one of the articles that I wrote drawing a clear line between Bernie Sanders and Clinton, every one of those articles everyone was given a stamp of approval by the editors at The Huffington Post, at The Hill, and at Salon. I was a contributor to The Hill. And so in 2017, people on the left found it very interesting. They found it, I don't know, it's such a cult. So I was published in the Daily Caller, and then I was, the Federalist. I love the Federalist. I love the Daily Caller, and so I was published in those places, those publications, and they found that kind of like I was. They were like, oh my God, you see, he was a Bernie supporter and he became a Trump supporter. It's like, yeah, there about 10% of Bernie Sanders supporters became Trump supporters, because President Trump is pretty much the president Bernie wishes he was. Wishes he could have become in 2016. Does anybody even talk about President Trump bringing home Americans, which is what he's doing? If we had Clinton's foreign policy, which is the foreign policy of Max Boot and Bill Kristol, we would stay there forever. Democrats actually don't talk about the current peace agreement. Why is that? I wonder why. Why don't they talk about foreign policy in terms of the ongoing military conflicts that we are still engaged in? I wonder why. There seems to be a blind spot in liberal politics. This is the only time in political history where the left of a country, the left of the political spectrum, has completely and utterly ignored foreign policy and focused only on this absurd nonsense that only an imbecile would believe, that Russia was so afraid. Russia was so afraid of Madam Secretary that they hacked the DNC to inform the country that Bernie was cheated. But anyway, I have a lot of respect for the Biden campaign, and I'll tell you why. Never before in the history of mankind has an entire campaign worked to pretend that it was unelectable. Or at least I should say, never before has a candidate worked so hard to be so horrendous. I don't believe that Biden is like, I worked for the cure to be worse than the problem. I don't believe the whole, like, as a Senate, hey now, fat, hey now. Hey, man, come on, man, you know the deal, man, you know the deal. Reach me at my virtual town hall, and then, like, it doesn't work. This is all fabricated and staged. Clinton is going to be nominee. For everybody watching, thank you. I know I'm beyond a broken record, but it will be the biggest political call of all time. It will be the biggest political call of all time. You know the deal, man. But let me read you this. Let me read you this. That's water. Just water. It's all good. Okay. That was just water, okay? Just water. Just went down the wrong tube. Don't call it SEAL Team 6. All right. Joe Biden is the worst imaginable challenger to Trump right now. Do tell. March 29th, 2020, the week. This is actually was in Yahoo the other day. For anyone plugged into the news about what's going on, it's been extremely bizarre to watch President Trump's approval ratings. No, it hasn't. He has botched the crisis beyond belief. Oh, really? Oh, my goodness. Have you... H.A. Good record. Eric H526, thank you. Red Ford, thank you. Thank you for watching for so long. Thank you, Red Ford. Since 2015, my God. If you watched, ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Cuomo or Gavin Newsom in February, Andrew Cuomo in January, Michigan's governor and Washington's governor around the same time, January, February, none of them, their State of the State speeches or in their budgets for the year, allotted money or spoke about the impending crisis, which happened a month later. Not one of these Democratic governors that take such glee in shutting down their state spoke about the impending crisis. Gee, I wonder why. President Trump's not the governor of New York. Andrew Cuomo is. Mr. America was never great. But anyway, because of his ongoing failure to stockpile medical supplies. Oh, really? He was supposed to find out what New York needed? Doctors and nurses. Okay, some have already... Okay. Yeah, that's not President Trump's fault. You can put that at the fault of governors who failed to foresee what their state needed. The governors of the state are elected to govern their state. Yet Trump's approval rating keeps going up. That's because the average person understands exactly what's going on. That's because the average person realizes that President Trump has the entire country to deal with, not one state. Not one state. So they understand also that the average American realizes that nobody is like President Trump. No president is perfect. No president's perfect, okay? But if you look at the failed NATO intervention under President Obama, that's not just not being perfect. That's like getting the biggest free pass of all time. You've actually obliterated a country because of a failed NATO intervention. And nobody talks about it. And you just shrug your shoulders and say, well, it's the biggest mistake we've made, I guess. Well, must be nice. Nothing, you can look at, did President Trump drink Flint water? Did President Trump engage in a colossal failure of a NATO intervention that obliterated a country? I want to know this. Did President Trump preside over Standing Rock? This is all during President Obama's administration. All three are worse than anything that took place under Trump. And far worse. Especially the NATO intervention. So, the interesting thing is, that all of this, I think that once Clinton runs again and loses to Trump again, I think that President Obama is going to take, going to be the most influential, the absolute most influential person within the Democratic Party. I think that the machine will be run by President Obama, not Clinton anymore. I think that there's a political power struggle within. There's a political power struggle within the Democratic. Well, it's not. It's going to take place when they lose the election again. It will take place when they lose the election again. So, hello. Thank you for watching from India. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Hello, thank you. Thank you all for watching. You look at... Well, let's just read this. Let's just read this right now. Okay, where is this thing here? Valerie Rogers! Nobody's perfect, not even me. Valerie, you are perfect. Come on now. Valerie Rogers, thank you. Thank you. All right. Yet Trump's approval rating is at 60%. He does even better with the response. Hold on. So yet Trump's approval rating keeps going up. Poll averages show a marked bump in favorability ratings. A recent Washington Post ABC poll has him above water. He does even better with the response to all of this, with a Gallup poll finding him at 60% approval. Yeah, you want to know why? Because he's actually doing things to help the country. Yes. Yeah, that's why. They're like, oh my God, people actually care. People actually like Trump. It's like, yeah, they do. But, I was thinking about it the other day, or actually right before this. I think about this every day. Do you know how many people view Trump the way you and I view the Democratic Party, or Madam Secretary, or Biden? Don't think that, like, you're able to see things from a very logical vantage point. Trump did not work with Russia. That's absurd. Only an imbecile would believe that. We knew this even before the Mueller probe. This is not President Trump's fault. None of this is Trump's fault. And we were able to see things from not the perspective of media, But from a more logical perspective, do you think people who have derangement issues pertaining to the orange monster, do you think they will care if Biden just hands the baton to Madam Secretary? I mean, does anyone think that... do you believe, ladies and gentlemen, that just because you can't imagine a Clinton presidency again, or a Hillary Clinton presidency, don't you think that just the same way that you can't imagine or you wouldn't want one, that's how they felt about President Trump? So their whole vantage point is they're going to just go at this again. The past 4 years, we've just been waiting for a repeat. Democrats and media have wasted 3 years of American history. They have completely and utterly wasted 3 years of American history with a special counsel that had nothing to do with national security. Okay? It is not national security if the DNC is allegedly hacked. The ODNI and DHS reports are only confident. They're not certain. And then they outsourced a tech firm. Democrats did. Why didn't they ask Trump to outsource the tech firm? But here, this is what happens. The Democrats, by the way, the DNC is a private entity, by the way. This is what happens when the Democratic Party de facto, led at this point by its presumptive presidential nominee, Joe Biden. Well, no, it's not. It's led by Bill and Hillary. Oh, my goodness. People think it's led by Biden? That's funny. Refuses to make the case that Trump is, in fact, responsible. No, he's not. For the severity of the disaster? Really? So if he's if he should have known, you don't think Cuomo and Newsom and everyone else should have known? All the other governors? The governors are in charge of what their state needs. Who do you think knows more about what their state needs? The governors or President Trump or any president? That's hilarious. Biden is proving to be about the worst imaginable nominee to take on Trump. Yeah, of course he is. Now, Biden is not entirely to blame here. Surely some of Trump's approval bump can be chalked up to the usual rally around the country effect. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is it's kind of interesting right here. I want to see something right. This is really interesting. This is what, so this gentleman wrote this great article, which, by the way, I love the premise here regarding Biden. Not that, Trump is horrible, but it's like, but this is what this author was writing in January. January 23rd, Trump is a clear and present danger to constitutional government. No mention of the crisis. The Iowa debacle is a boon for Bernie. What Iowa fallout revealed about the 2020 candidates. America needs to stop its natural gas pipeline mania. February 11th, liberals need to stop pretending the president has no power. February 12th, hey Democrats, it's okay to vote for Bernie Sanders. February 17th, the real potential of electric vehicle revolution. Okay. President 18th, Mike Bloomberg is not the lesser of two evils. February 20th, the Democrats gave Mike Bloomberg what he deserved. February 24th, how much will Medicare for all save Americans? A lot. February 24th, tyranny is fueling. Okay, now, so February 24th, first mention of the crisis. Tyranny is fueling the crisis. And then back to, is Bernie Sanders a deep cover communist revolutionary? No. February 26th, moderate Democrats need to answer for the cost of their welfare plans. February 26th. Then, fine, February 20th. Trump's response is worse than incompetent. So now, the end of February, beginning of March. Not one mention. Just like, the Democratic Party is they the liberal intelligentsia, what they've done is they've said, well, Trump should have known, but they weren't talking about it either. And they're the ones who, the governors, the Democratic governors, who are tanking their own states. John, hello. HJ works at the radio station near Santa's workshop. Yes. I have all the little elves around me. No. This is, it's funny because the governors of the states, you have Andrew Cuomo, who you can just go to his State of the State address. He did not mention anything. It was in January. You can go to Gavin Newsom's State of the State address in February. None of these people mentioned anything to do with the crisis. Tuan win! Tuan, we need Durham to slap indictments down on Comey, Clapper, Brennan. Absolutely. I think those will happen, though. You're talking about agents that said, we will stop Trump. They know this. Tuan Win, thank you so much. Everything, Tuan and everybody watching, everything that we already have the evidence. We already know, we'll stop Trump. Trump voters are smelly. Steele dossier purchased by Madam Secretary. Could you imagine if a dossier was purchased about Madam Secretary or Biden? We already have something going on with Biden that media, the wonderful liberal media, the moral voice of our generation won't even touch. Isn't that interesting how Democrats won't even touch? So Tuan Win, thank you. Isn't that interesting how Democrats won't even touch? They're, one of the biggest issues of Biden's campaign. Allegations that they would be it would be every 2 seconds if it was Bernie Sanders, even it would be every 2 seconds. But that's the way liberals roll. Outrage, except when it's them, then no more outrage. Then it's, you got to prove it. You take things into context. You got to prove it. I don't know. What can you do? So let's continue. When Hillary Clinton becomes nominee, the entire media is going to be like, oh my God, how did this happen? Oh my God, what a political comeback. You will have known since 2017 on this channel in my writing. You will have known, ladies and gentlemen, that it is still it's still going on. Tiger King on Netflix, have you watched it yet? No, I have not. So Tuan Win, thank you. Banana Bishop, I have not. Thank you. So let's continue here. Let's see. But if we dig into the numbers, some of the bump in Trump's approval rating is coming from changes in Democratic attitudes. A Pew poll, for instance, found that Democrats and Democratic-leaning voters nearly doubled their approval of Trump. Yeah, that's because he's doing a good job. Even Democrats have to agree. Over the last few weeks, from 7 to 12%. It's not a huge change, but it could make a difference between Trump winning or losing an election, which is likely to be close. It'll be close because Clinton will raise an enormous amount of money and still lose. An enormous amount of money. President Trump should spend like every month have like a campaign rally in Florida, in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, and just those 4 states. Every month. Every single month. So, but let's continue here. Indeed, Biden has been doing barely anything. Hold on one second. Let's see. Hold on. As has been made abundantly clear, Democratic voters tend to take their cues from the Democratic elites. Yeah. They live in a matrix. The party rallied around Biden in lockstep right before Super Tuesday, and voters fell in line, as they will with Clinton. Biden won multiple states he has not visited in months because they despise Bernie Sanders, in which he had no campaign offices. And now that he's probably nominee, no, Hillary Clinton will be, Biden is not savaging. He's not savaging Trump's response. We have a $6 trillion total economic package. What more does Biden, what can he say? On the contrary, his campaign says they are hesitant to even criticize him at all. So, yeah, because he's doing a good job. If even Democrats realize he's doing a good job, what's Biden going to say? Biden said the other day that he wants to make the cure. What did he say? Valerie Rogers of the Russian store. Valerie. Hold on. And cure for cure. We have to take care of the cure that will make the problem worse no matter what. That is a great line. That is just very, very, very inspiring. That's an inspirational line right there. It's really, really inspirational. Let me read this to you again. I'm trying to wrap my mind around the philosophy behind this. The best thing also is that Biden, he says something and then he just, he assumes that you'll let it go and he won't say anything. He assumes, I said it. I said it, so on. So what if I said it? Huh? So what if I said it? Yeah, I said it. Yeah, and what? We have to make sure that the cure. We have to take care of the cure that will make the problem worse no matter what. What does that even mean? We have to take care of the cure that'll make the problem worse no matter what? What does that mean? Who knows what that even means? And so this is what they're rolling with. Of course, my computer is freezing up, which is fantastic. Oh my God. What is going on here? So, we have to take care of the cure that'll make unbelievable. We have to take care of the cure that will make the cure we have to take care of the cure that will make the problem worse no matter what. What does that even mean? What does that mean? What does that even mean? That's very bizarre. Very bizarre. This is supposed to be a time when, like, you make a name for yourself, which is kind of funny because Andrew Cuomo completely dropped the ball, but because media is so far up the posterior of the Democratic Party, they're like, oh, he's America's governor now. For what? For in January not even bringing it up? It's very bizarre. Like, we have to take care of the cure. We have to take care of the cure that will make the problem worse no matter what. He wants to make the problem worse no matter what. We have to take let's what does that even mean? Okay, we have to take care of the cure that will make the problem worse no matter what. We have to take care of the cure. We have to take care of that because there's a cure out there that will make the problem worse no matter what. Okay. Sure. Sure. Whatever you say. We just have to, I guess, endure all of this. I actually don't know how long. I mean, they seem to have everything under control, the Democrats, in their, phony rigged primary. But it'll be very interesting to see how long they roll with the Biden theatrical performance. I don't know how they're able to. I really don't know how they're able to do this. I really don't know how they'll be able to do this. I just don't know. It'll be very interesting. Like, when will they just give up and say, okay, you know what? It was a charade. Okay? Just like when Michael Bloomberg entered the race. It's a charade, okay? Just relax. Crypto pirate. What Biden said was so deep, only Bob Dylan could understand. That's awesome. Well, let's continue. Okay, so let's continue. So let's see. Biden worse. Okay, so all right, I lost the oh my god, where is this thing? Joe Biden is the worst imaginable challenger. This is what I don't understand too. Like, everyone will fall in line around Clinton in 2 seconds. She would actually add a great deal of electricity, a great deal of energy into a Democratic primary that's basically the most boring, the most feeble, miserable political event of all time. This is the worst. This is like the most apathetic political event of all time. Indeed, Biden has barely been doing anything. Biden disappeared for almost an entire week. He said his campaign was trying to figure out how to do video live streams. Something a 12-year-old could set up in about 15 minutes. Hey guys, any smartphone with Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch installed can become a broadcasting device with the press of a single button. When Biden did finally appear, he gave some small scripted address that still had technical foul-ups. This is all by design. Well, I shouldn't say that. Very likely, with Biden's blessing. I'll say that. All of this is by design with Biden's blessing. Hey, so far, I give you a blessing. Oh. I give you my blessings, everybody. Oh. Come on, man. You know the deal. You know the deal, man. Banana Bishop! Help Milwaukee may be filled with... No, I can tell that ain't going to happen. The vast majority of Bernie Sanders supporters will vote for Hillary Clinton in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Which is what happened before. In a heartbeat. Almost 100% of the Bernie Sanders supporters out there are not on Twitter. They're just loyal Democrats who like Bernie. And Bernie will be like, hey, vote for Clinton, okay? People crave leadership during times of crisis. Now, this is actually, here, Governor Cuomo, who seriously mishandled the initial crisis response and is still trying to cut Medicaid, but has been giving reassuring daily press briefings where he seems like he's on top of the situation. Governor Jay Inslee did a much better job. None of these governors did a good job. And you could just look back in January, February, see what was taking place. Just look back in January, February. You know, just look back in January or February. That's all. You just have to look. If you look back in January or February, loud citizen, when Trump wins how many months before prosecuting HRC? I think that it could be a year, 2 years, 3 years, but I think that there will be people indicted. I think it's going to take longer than the election, and you will see people indicted eventually. But I think John Durham and William Barr will ask simple questions like, how was top secret intelligence transferred? You cannot transfer special access program intelligence onto servers outside of the United States government. It's not possible. You can't email that. You can't email special access program intelligence. Impossible. But they found a way to do it. What Trump is saying is insanely irresponsible and has already gotten people to lose their lives. No. Jeez. Unbelievable. It's just unbelievable it's just unbelievable the amount of vitriol. It's unbelievable the amount of vitriol. So let's see here. I love everyone is like, I love that one of the best things about the left is that they truly believe they're the adults in the room. They truly believe that. So they found, I don't even want to get into it. There's so many holes with that very bizarre story. I don't even want to get into it. But if you're, how many people drank Flint water after President Obama said it was safe? It was still poisonous. Jimbo! Doesn't Biden have Clinton's people running the show? He does. He does. Everybody in Biden's campaign is a former Clinton person. Jimbo, thank you. Everybody in Clinton's, so this is going to be the biggest political charade of all time. Clinton's going to run. She'll lose, but this is how they'll do it. When Clinton loses again, they'll say, "Look, you had nobody else. Clinton didn't even want to run, and she suffered for you." Right? Moreover, if Biden, because he'll be in charge of a country in ruins. No, the country won't be in ruins. Believe it was at record low unemployment before all of this, and we'll rebound. We'll rebound just fine. That's one of the reasons also Democrats will lose. They have this apocalyptic view of everything. It's like, just because you're unhappy politically doesn't mean everyone else is. 63 million people are very happy. 65 million are not happy. Okay. And if you don't spend twice as much on the campaign as Trump, you wouldn't get the popular vote. Fixing the place will require extremely energetic leadership. Fixing the place. Yeah, the place is a lot better than it was during President Obama's administration. A lot better. Just ask 300,000 people who had manufacturing jobs they didn't have. Well, hopefully those jobs aren't impacted by what's going on right now, but I'm sure they are. But you have governors that are George Rivera Jr. There seems to be an inverse relationship between that's TDS and yes, there is George Rivera Jr. That's a great call. That is a great call. That's a great call, George Rivera Jr. There is an inverse relationship. The more that Democrats obsess, and the more they complain, the better it is for President Trump. Oh, here we go. What's this? Joe Biden is becoming an impossible candidate. Who believes this? Who would actually believe? It's like, this is the thing. It is a rational viewpoint to say, well, they wouldn't cheat again. They don't care. You know, George Rivera Jr., the reason that there's an inverse relationship. Imagine you had a spouse. All right, here. Imagine you bought a Ferrari. But in reality, it wasn't a Ferrari. It was a Nissan. And they just put, the Ferrari, like emblem on the front of the car. And you were like, oh, this Ferrari's amazing. And then one day you realize it's just a Nissan. It's a Nissan. It's not a Ferrari. That's what the Democratic Party is like. They think they're the adults in the room. They're the most moral. Banana Bishop, I do not. They think they're the adults in the room. They're the most wonderful people. Oh my God. And you're going to see. It won't just be a meltdown. It will be a interstellar implosion. It will be like something, that takes place in a galaxy far, far away. Could you imagine George Rivera Jr. when Trump wins again, over Clinton again? Because they're going to lay it on thick. I mean, if you don't vote for Clinton, you're a Russian operative. You're a tiki torch Russian operative. You're this, you're that, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. And then they lose. It will be, they're going to take down not just the Democratic Party, but also Twitter. It's going to be unbelievable. They're already every Every article about Biden is horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. Every article about Biden is horrendous. Every single, there's no good articles. Nobody's talking about this but me. I know what? I mean, thank you everybody for just continually watching me. It's even tiring for me because I never stop talking about it. It's just I see it. Nobody sees it. The Democrats don't work that way. They don't work like George Rivera Jr. That's part of the problem. The inverse relationship is what keeps them going. They cannot accept, if they were to accept reality, George Rivera Jr., where would they be? Imagine. It is going to be Hillary Clinton. I will have made the biggest political call of all time. If you like your Ferrari, you can keep your Ferrari. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. Running out of steam. George Rivera Jr. Thank you. Oh yeah, Eric H526. I said I do not think. Banana Bishop. No, I do not. I do not believe so. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thanks for just staying up with me. And God bless you. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Probably around about 3 p.m. Pacific. 3 or 4 p.m. Pacific. Valerie, I do not. But I know the nature of the Democratic Party. Clinton is going to be nominee. And God bless her. It'll be fantastic. Trump's going to win again. It'll be amazing. Give me your thoughts, everybody. Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening. God bless you. Things are going to be a lot better very soon. Think of November when Trump wins. God bless you. Thanks, everybody.